New Orleans police is all over this intersection trying to keep people away, but cars continue to keep getting through. As you can see right here, they get out, they yell at the people, they're sounding their sirens, but cars continue to push through. And now we've got one coming through right now, just going past a police officer. This is not a pickup truck. And look at the tail end of that vehicle start to float almost immediately. The police officer is now yelling at the person inside the vehicle, but I think there was a plan to put up barricades at these intersections, and now this officer is about to have to get wet again as a car went right around behind him and is now floating sideways at the Carrollton underpass. This is a dangerous situation, as you can see. You've got a 3,000-pound vehicle, an officer trying to wrestle it. He's in harm's way now because this person went directly behind a police officer that was trying to block Carrollton Avenue and tried to get through. A very dangerous job as the officer now will try and tend to this person, make sure he or she is okay. So needless to say, if you're in the area of the Carrollton underpass, do not go past any police officers and try and negotiate this underpass because several people can get hurt. And now you can see the officer pulling this person out of the vehicle, and it looks like the vehicle is trying to come with him as well. This could be an elderly person. We are not sure. But New Orleans police on the scene, now getting this person out. Aggravated 1 minute, forced to be a rescuer the next. And here we go. New Orleans police on the spot, conducting a rescue at the Carrollton underpass. Forget about the car. Make sure the people inside are safe. And that's exactly what's happening here. It looks like that could be an elderly person. I am not sure. And we are going to go over and try and talk to these people. Hear sirens going in the background. There's probably these kinds of rescues going on all over the city right now. This couldn't have happened at a worse time. You've got rush hour traffic going through here. But we've got two police officers over here blocking traffic on Carrollton Avenue. Somehow this does look like an elderly lady managed to get through, and New Orleans police have now rescued her, and she's apparently safe. We're going to try and talk to her. Ma'am, are you okay?
I'm okay. A man helped me.
Did you not see the police officer there trying to block the road?
I did not.
We've been out here for probably about 20 minutes, half an hour, and the rain is coming down more now than it was when we first arrived. Unfortunately, showing no signs of stopping, with lots of thunder and lightning. Here's another car coming through here, obviously going a lot slower, but you can see the water going into that building, and you can imagine when it's a bigger truck just how much water is pushed into that building.
You can see down Orleans Avenue at this point, and some vehicles ahead of us. It stopped traffic. We've seen a lot of emergency vehicles as well. The neutral ground filled with cars at this point, trying to get out of harm's way, get out of the water. We've seen a lot of people trying to move some of their belongings away from their stoops and stuff like that. Some businesses, looks like they may have gotten a little water in some of the businesses from these vehicles going down South Jeff Davis at this point, also Orleans Avenue. As we make our way, you can see, it looks like Bayou Boogaloo up ahead. And that's right, we are here, Bayou Boogaloo, where it is a torn-up festival, to say the least. This is Joshua Lee. He's one of the vendors here. And just take me through the craziness that unfolded around 4:30 this afternoon.
Was it 4:30? I have no idea. What time is it now? I don't know.
We don't know anymore.
No, we don't know anymore. For about 30 minutes, my buddy Mitch and I were parasailing my tent as the wind came off the bayou and wiped out the first line of tents, which blew most of them into the second line of tents. But the guys on the inside are a little bit more spared.
Well, we see merchandise all over the place here, and probably a lot of money worth of merchandise all over the place that's
Probably a lot
ruined.
of uninsured inventory would be my prediction. As a recovering insurance agent and full-time artist, I predict most of these people are going to have to take these hits personally.
So we haven't heard anything about injuries here, although we did talk to a few vendors who said they wondered if anybody was hurt because it was so crazy at the time and people were running and tents were flying and could have easily been hurt.
There were, but I will say one thing, first responders were excellent. Firemen and police were on the scene very quickly, going tent to tent to make sure that people were okay and intact. So I was really pleased to see that kind of a response.
We saw earlier, some cars going through some pretty deep flooding and pushing some of that water into some businesses, including at one business on Orleans Avenue.
We're flooding again. It's not coming in quite yet, but the cars are going so fast, we're trying to get them to slow down and the water's pushing in. We just did this, it was last August we flooded. There's a water line on our wall where it came in. But whenever we have a hard rain, this happens and people don't want to slow down. I don't understand why the street doesn't have a blockade on it.
Frustrating for business owners.
It is frustrating because you're standing there watching people drive through and watching the water come higher and higher. And we heard Chief Harrison say earlier, if they can pinpoint who's done this and who's driving through pushing water into people's homes and businesses, they will go after them.
I think the lesson is, if it happens, shoot video of it, and that may be able to help you prove it to NOPD.
I'm actually watching it right now, and so we're grateful that we were able to get to someone to help them out of that horrible situation. That's why I'm calling to admonish people, number one, don't drive right now if you don't have to, because we blocked off underpasses and there is flooding under most of them. Don't drive if you don't have to, and because we blocked them off, it's creating major traffic congestion around the city on all of the roads. And then we're asking people that if they are there, drive closer to the neutral ground. It tends to be a little higher than over near the sidewalk, and please drive slowly, not to push water into homes and businesses because it's very, very unnecessary. And houses may be dry if it were not for people driving bad. And I'm actually looking at your newscast right now, watching this officer walk through that water. And, this is what we're here to do. But we don't want to do that if we don't have to, if everybody would just be cautious, not to take those chances and drive through the water, because you never know how deep it is, and then it prompts us to have to do a rescue mission.
This officer, Chief, should be, look at what he did going in there in the water and then pulling this woman out of the car and carrying her back to safety. He definitely should be commended for his work today, though.
Absolutely. I'm watching it right now on your channel right now. It's very heroic. I'm extremely proud.
I jumped out my vehicle. I immediately rushed to her aid. I was holding on to the vehicle so the vehicle wouldn't move, but it still was moving, but I was able to grab her and pull her out. Her leg got caught into the steering wheel, but we made it out.
Are you trained for this?
No, because I do not know how to swim.